Welcome to the Slave Chef. My name is Jana Wolff. I'm the head dietitian over at GBMC's comp program. I want to give a big thank you to ABC News and to the marketing department at GBMC and also our comp program. And of course, to the wonderful Slave Chef.
Good evening, everyone. So good to see you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, always next to me is the fabulous Jana Wolff. She's got all your nutritional information this evening.
Yes.
I want to give a big thank you again to WMAR2 Studios for letting us use this beautiful space. We have a very, very exciting dish prepared for you this evening. We are doing a spicy peanut pad thai tofu with shirataki noodles. Now, that is a lot to take in. I'm sure you saw that recipe on Facebook. We are going to walk through each individual step. There's going to be a lot of moving pieces going on tonight, but trust me, we'll get through it. Got everything set up. So without further ado.
Yeah. Unlike last time, it's not una minute.
Yes,
right?
it's not a la minute, guys.
A la minute.
Very, very important. So we've got
a little bit of prepping.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of prep ahead of time, but we'll walk you through every single step. This is going to go really well. We really wanted to focus on not only our carnivores out there, but we also wanted to do something for the vegan vegetarians out there that also allows you to get all your protein in as well.
Or those who have been a lot of people have been asking me about vegetarian, full, complete proteins, that aren't from an animal. Guess what? Tofu is it, okay? And a lot of people get concerned about the soy content of proteins of tofu.
We're going live, guys. Anything can happen. That's why you got to tune in.
Yes, I'll get that.
Thanks, Jana.
But some people get concerned about the soy content of tofu. There have been lots of studies of late that actually show that unprocessed soy products, so something like tofu, very natural, very clean, does not inherently increase your estrogen. So you eat it in moderation, just like
close call, guys. Close call.
It's
I was worried for a second there. We would not steer you wrong. Trust us.
Yeah, no.
We would not steer you wrong.
We wouldn't want that.
All right, so let's talk about the food here for a second. So first off, we're starting with our primary ingredient, tofu. We're using an extra firm tofu this evening. Something really important to note with our extra firm tofu is that we pressed it for at least 12 hours ahead of time. You could always go a shorter period if you want. Pressing the extra firm tofu is going to get some of the moisture out of it. So really and it's going to help improve the texture of the tofu. So we're going to add a little bit of sesame oil. We've made our marinade ahead of time as well. So our marinade consists of peanut butter, sriracha. We've got some freshly minced ginger in here as well. Some soy sauce, some light soy sauce, and then finally some rice wine vinegar. So you get a little bit of nuttiness from that peanut butter, a little bit of sweetness there too. I definitely recommend using a natural peanut butter as it'll be better for you, less processing from those natural peanut butters. So we'll start off. We've got our pan on a low to medium heat here. Got our pan on a low to medium heat. We just want to start off by frying our tofu. We're going to add a little bit of sesame oil to our pan.
And I just want to say hi to Jason Ritt.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Kathy, Jay, and Greg, and Summer. Oh, look at that.
Yum.
Okay,
so
right
lots
in here, guys. Okay, so did you explain about what you did to the tofu before?
Yes, I did. So so what we did ahead of time is we pressed the tofu. It's a very simple process. What you want to do is you want to get a sheet pan or a sheet tray, any tray you have at home, a piece of parchment paper, put your tofu on top of that parchment paper, and then take another piece of parchment paper, put it on top of it. Parchment paper is also called wax paper. Then put another sheet tray on top of it, and then finally put some cans, some weight on top of that to just compress it. But you want to spread them out across the top of the sheet pan. Very important.
A lot of people, when you cook tofu, I've asked so many people in my classes, I think you remember if you're watching, do you eat tofu? Most people say no. Actually, I was just telling Mike before we even went live that one of my patients, I said, do you eat tofu? And she went, which I thought was hysterical. But when you cook it properly, when you really get all the moisture out, when you make a dish that has such amazing flavors in it, you're going to like it. You're gonna like it. It's gonna come out toothy, like meaty.
Yep.
And it'll really take the flavor of whatever you're cooking, which is nice.
Exactly. That's a really good point, Jana. So tofu is a very neutral flavor. And what's nice about that is, again, like Jana said, it's really going to take on all the flavors that you're adding to it. So pressing it's going to help get some of that moisture out of it. Then we're going to fry it ahead of time. So basically sauteing it. We're going to get a little bit of color on there, nothing too crazy. Again, get some of the moisture out of it, really drying it out to give it some more texture instead of being really soft. That's why we're using that firm or extra firm tofu.
Yeah.
You can find tofu, Wegmans, Whole Foods. You may be able to find it at other local bigger box grocery stores. But if you're looking for a specialty store, H Mart in Catonsville is a great place to go to.
H Mart is awesome. It has
so much fun.
They actually sell tofu in big buckets, so you can get it really fresh, which is cool.
All right, guys, so check this out, right? When we're flipping this over,
nice browning.
This is what we're looking for. See that color on there?
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Hey, thank you for all the likes, everybody. We really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Question, we're here for
Melissa.
you. Demystify a lot of this. Hi, Melissa.
Melissa's great. She said, I think that people are scared of it, but it's so good. You know, so if you get used to the texture and the flavor of it, and like we said before, you really follow a good recipe, like this one.
Like this one, exactly.
Then I think you're going to have good luck with it.
Yeah, I agree, guys. I definitely, too, go to, hey, and some loves. Likes and loves. I'll take it. It's a wonderful thing.
I do want to mention that, remember how we talk about lean proteins all the time? Like nothing too high in fat because it packs on the calories and it may not be great for your cardiovascular health. Tofu, naturally low in fat. So it's
a really
lean.
good point. Yep,
Yeah.
it's a really good point. Don't use that as a reason to say, oh, I'm going to add butter to the pan, I'm going to add this, I'm going to add that.
Yeah.
We always want to make sure that we're cooking with polyunsaturated vegetables. And just remember those, quote, hidden calories is a really good way to think about it. So the more ingredients, the more you add to it, the more calories you're adding. So that's why we're like working with sesame oil here, because again, it's lower calories, it's an unsaturated fat, a polyunsaturated fat, so it'll be much better for you.
Good.
All right, guys, so really what we want to do for the tofu here is we just want to brown the tofu, and then we're just going to pull it out and give it a second to let it rest, let it cool down here.
Yeah. And Lisa, you never had tofu.
All right.
I challenge you.
There you go. Give it a try. You're really going to enjoy it. All right. All right, so we got our tofu out of our pan.
And if you end up not loving tofu, you can always make this recipe with shrimp, beef, chicken. It doesn't matter.
That's a great point, Jana.
Yeah.
You could substitute in your favorite protein of choice. I like this recipe with shrimp personally. If you have a preference, you want to do scallops, you want to do etc. So here we go, guys. Here's what we're looking for the tofu. You want that lighter browning on top here. See that? Again, we're in the pan for about 3 to 4 minutes at the most. We're going to let that cool down before we put it in our marinade. While that's cooling, let's talk about our shirataki noodles. That's our next ingredient.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Okay. These, can I just
Please,
say?
Jana, let it rip.
So these are noodles. They kind of remind me of if we're having a chicken noodle soup. And they're the texture, that kind of chewy texture. Now, what they're produced from is a root called glucosamine.
Yes, for the win. Jana on the first try.
And what they do is they pull out an insoluble fiber that doesn't get really digested. It kind of just passes through. So it actually ends up having very minimal calories, carbs, etc. And minimal protein, though, too. So remember that. You can take these. They come in a bag with water in it. You have to rinse them.
Yes.
They're going to smell a little weird when you open it up.
It's good. Yeah, so don't be afraid. Keep in mind you can buy these both cooked and uncooked like these are.
Yes.
You will get a little, it's like almost like a slight seafoody smell is what I would call it. Don't be afraid. Just pour it straight out in your colander.
Wash it,
Give it a good rinse, 2-3 minutes is what we did under cold running water.
Yes, and this is not shiitake.
Yes.
This is shirataki.
These are shirataki noodles. Shiitake is a type of mushroom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I saw some people were like, well, I'm allergic to mushrooms or whatever,
Yep.
and you don't have to worry about that with this.
Yep, and again, you can find this, Wegmans, Whole Foods, Giant may have it as well, the other bigger box grocery stores. Definitely, again, H Mart is a great way to source this.
And these are huge in the Japanese community.
Oh, very popular.
Yeah,
very
which
popular.
is so cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we've got our water. It's boiling right now, boiling at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to add our salt to it when it's boiling. Don't add it beforehand. If you add it beforehand, that salt's going to sit on the bottom of your pot and start wearing away at your pot.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Very important.
That's really good stuff.
All right, so we're adding some salt.
And Melissa, thank you for answering Lisa's question, asking about the the texture of tofu. Would the serving size be the same of chicken?
Yes, to answer your question. You can always, remember guys, you can always scale back to those 4 ounces of protein.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got our shirataki noodles in our water. Now, something really important to note here, guys. It may look like we're cooking these like traditional noodles, and in a lot of ways we are. However, you're going to see that's going to change very dramatically in a second. If you've cooked pasta before, which I really hope you have, I love fettuccine Alfredo myself. What you want to do is you want a pot of boiling water, you put your noodles in, you wait for your noodles to cook. They'll be in there for about 10 to 12 minutes until they get nice and soft, to al dente, eat it to the bite, and then we dump them out, hit them with cold running water, and they're good to go.
Good.
In this particular situation, we're going to be in here only about 2 to 3 minutes. Very, very important note, 2 to 3 minutes.
I'm assuming they become either very mushy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's a really key thing to note here. So what we're really looking to do is we're going to cook them boiling water for about 2 to 3 minutes. Cook them in boiling water for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to drain them in a colander. We're going to come back into our saute pan here.
Okay. Oh, Melissa had a great suggestion. If you go onto Pinterest, there are a lot of tofu recipes.
Definitely.
I like the baked. It's a nice sub for mozzarella sticks. You can even do the mozzarella sticks, and the breading could be those Parmesan crisps all crunched up. Otherwise, I usually eat it in Indian or Chinese dishes. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that recommendation, Melissa. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you, Amber. I appreciate the compliment. Oh, look at that.
All right, so now we've got our noodles frying. You guys. Again, this is really important, guys. We really want to control our heat here.
Okay.
One of the important things you could do as well is you really want to control your heat a couple different ways. One, by how high your setting is by how hot your flame is on your stove. And if you feel it's too high, move it off. I know it sounds really silly and really simple, but that's some of the simplest things to do in cooking is when you move it off, you eliminate that direct heat. And keep in mind too that your pan is going to retain that heat. So it's going to stay hot. So your pan is still hot.
Especially with that cast iron.
Exactly.
That's a nice cast iron pan.
Exactly. So now what we're looking to do is we're looking to dry these noodles out. So we went into a pan, a cast iron pan over low to medium heat with a little bit of sesame oil in it. And we just want to look to dry these noodles out. That's really the key here. Get as much of that moisture out of it as possible. That'll help give them a little bit more of a al dente feel, more of a true quote-unquote spaghetti pasta feel.
Yeah.
All right, so while these are drying out, we're going to move on to our tofu and get that in our marinade here, our delicious marinade. We've got some peanut butter, sriracha, so you go nutty, sweet, spicy. We've got some light soy sauce, rice wine vinegar.
Yeah, the rice wine vinegar really cuts it, which is nice.
Exactly.
To have that acidity.
Exactly.
And guys, if you have high blood pressure, I know we've talked about this in the past with soy sauce, you can always get a light soy sauce and make sure that the rest of the day you're not having as much sodium. You see? So
That's
you're
a
balancing
really good point.
it.
So for our tofu, guys, we're just dicing it up, like you're seeing here. So large dice. Again, just go straight through.
And are those 2 big pieces a brick of tofu?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We're just going to go right into our marinade. I recommend using that plastic bag.
And just, smell-o-vision, this doesn't really smell like much. So remember how we talked about when you open it up and you have to rinse it? By the time you rinse it and start cooking it, you kind of hardly smell anything, right?
Exactly, yep.
Yeah. So that's a good thing.
All right, guys, so we're going to use that bag. Definitely want to use bags for your marinades. These are just simple quart freezer bags. What that allows you to do is very carefully come through and make sure you get that tofu fully covered.
Yeah, and I see you're handling it with care because
I am.
Tofu can kind of break, and mush up a little bit.
Don't let this masculine demeanor fool you. I'm really quite a big softy.
Unlike our al dente.
Yes. All right, so I think we are looking pretty good here. So again, you may see me moving across the flames here.
Very nice.
Again, we're just looking to dry these noodles out.
Yeah, I just remembered something. I have someone that, and you know who you are if you're watching, who gets cravings for fettuccine alfredo. When you said that before, it instantly popped in my mind. You can use this as your sub.
That's very
for
true.
Fettuccine Alfredo, just using a lower fat, you know, either a low fat half and half or like a low fat milk, you know, as your base for the sauce. Okay.
So real quick here, guys, you'll see one of the things, a lot of cooking has to do with viewing, right? Getting a look at your eyeballs and really looking at something, and you'll see this looks dry, right? Mm-hmm. That has a dry look to it. That's an indication that you're ready to come out of your pan.
Okay. Someone said that, oh, Kathy, I cook my shirataki with laughing cow cheese.
Huh.
That's kind of nice.
That's a good idea.
Almost like a little mac and cheese in a way.
It's a smart idea.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
she
right.
said it's good if you like mac and cheese.
There you go, for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really a key thing here, guys. You know, when you talk about the journey and you talk about the food, I think it's really important to remember that it's not about, oh my God, I'm never going to eat fettuccine alfredo again. I'm never going to eat macaroni and cheese again. It's really all about figuring out those substitutions. And Kathy, that's such a good point about saying, oh yeah, I use laughing cow cheese instead of traditional whole fat milk mozzarella cheese.
Cream, etc.
Exactly. It's such a great way to let people know. That's what really sort of helped me on my journey when I was pre-op, was recognizing that, hey, there's still a lot of food that I can't eat, and I make a couple simple substitutions, and voila, I've got a fantastic dish.
Yeah, always thinking about what you can eat versus what you can't eat.
Precisely.
Great point. Yeah.
All right, guys, so we've got our, thank you, Jana. Great point.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got our tofu marinating. We've got our shirataki noodles cooked. So as you can see, there's a lot of moving pieces going on here, right? So we've got our tofu marinating. Again, we pressed it beforehand. We've got our shirataki noodles cooked. They're ready to go. Next up, we are going to do we're going to saute our ingredients for our pad thai.
And Melissa makes a good point. Food swaps are key, and we have so many options right now.
Exactly.
So great time to be in bariatrics.
It's a great time to be.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, between Pinterest and all of the websites and the food blogs and
And
Chef.
Slave Chef, and of course GBMC.
Yes, it is a great time to be involved.
All right, guys, so we're going to add a little bit of sesame oil to our pan here.
Just watching the magic happen.
Now, next up, so we've got all of our ingredients prepped ahead of time here, right? So we've got our thinly sliced onions, we've got our red bell peppers, we've got our cilantro, we've got our Thai chilies, and we have our matchstick carrots. I actually purchased these cut as is, just like this.
Made it a little easier.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big tip, guys. Is that you never don't feel like you've got to cut everything yourself. You know, I use those same smaller shortcuts to help expedite the process and speed it up.
And notice that plate looked like a rainbow. So, you know, the more colors that you get into your meal, the better. You're going to get more vitamins, more minerals, more antioxidants, all of the things that, all of the benefits from, you know, vegetables.
That is a great, great point, Jana.
I love it.
All right, guys, so we'll just be sauteing our onions here. Again, thinly sliced onions. A little bit of salt. We've got a little bit of pepper as well.
All right. Very good. It's going to start smelling
Yeah,
really good really quickly.
All right, guys, so now what we want to do is we want to get our pad thai chili recipe or sauce recipe together here. All right. So we've got some soy, some light soy. We've got 3 tablespoons of light soy. And we've got the juice of 2 limes.
Notice that he knows what 3 tablespoons looks like. That is a true chef.
There you go.
When you can eyeball that.
It's all in the eyeballs. All right, so one of the things you may have noticed that I was doing with my limes is I was rolling them ahead of time. You can do that with your limes and with your lemons. It makes them easier to cut and easier to juice.
Is that because it breaks the cells?
Yeah. For
Food
the win.
science. We learned that in school.
All right, you got lime juice in there. Juice of 2 limes here.
Okay, and while you're doing that, I did get a request to talk about, and I'm not going to really talk about it, but I did see it at Mom's the other day, because we're talking about different forms of protein, and I happened upon, and Mindy as well from marketing, sustainable protein. Does anyone know what that is? I didn't think so. It is protein from bugs.
Yum.
So lots of,
Stay tuned, guys. Jana's challenge is to get a recipe together.
Sleep Chef.
Jana may be out that episode.
Oh my goodness.
She said sustainable protein. She said she wanted it. You heard it here first.
I saw crickets and I saw mealworms. So, they're good for you. They're lean.
Yeah. I don't know what the French word is for cricket. I'll figure it out.
Croquette.
Yes, exactly. So that way, like when you're having escargot, for example,
yes.
Sounds much, much fancier than when you're having snail, right?
Right. We Americans like to make things fancy, right?
We do. It's very true. All right, so we added our carrots and our bell peppers, and our red bell pepper, and our Thai chilies to our dish, to our saute pan here.
Are the Thai chilies very spicy?
They are.
Okay. Ooh. Mike's wife
Hi, Mary.
posted. Okay. So this is exciting because this is Mike's wife. Hi, Mary. What about coconut aminos instead of soy sauce? Love the question.
That is a great question.
I think you talked about this.
We did. We talked about this in our last episode.
Yeah.
This is a great recommendation, guys. If you want to cut your sodium down a bit, coconut aminos make a great substitution, a lower sodium substitution instead of soy sauce.
I'm thinking you can at this point buy them at any grocery store.
They're pretty. I was going to say they're pretty well widely distributed.
Definitely, you can get them at Whole Foods, Mom's, any of those places. But I think most places also have them now. Could I use chili garlic sauce for a sub for the fresh chili?
Chili garlic sauce? You mean like traditional chili garlic sauce like these, for example? It's going to go in the marinade itself. I'd have to see what you mean by chili garlic sauce.
Okay, we'll see
if you want to just post a comment to that, I'll be more than happy to respond later on, maybe with a picture.
Okay.
I just need to know what you mean by chili garlic sauce, but I'd always recommend using a fresh chili as opposed to a sauce, just because you'll get...
She said yes to that.
Yes to this?
Yeah.
Yep, this is actually going to go into our pad thai sauce here.
So I guess
So I wouldn't recommend it in here only because it's just going to overwhelm a lot of the vegetables and what have you because you're actually heating it up. I'd definitely stay with the whole Thai chilies. Yeah. Or you could sub out, or you could sub out as well and go something not as spicy. Go jalapenos, habaneros, what have you, so that your Scoville units aren't as high.
Okay. And welcome to Chrissy.
Hi, Chrissy.
Chrissy just joined us. I got a couple of yikes and nopes for the sustainable proteins. Oh, look at this. Mary said that. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this, but grillon means cricket in French.
Ah, there you go. Perfect.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay. Okay, so Melissa said she could just skip the fresh chili if you don't love it or if it's too spicy, Oh, and our marketing rep Mindy, her sister just joined as well. Thank you for family members coming on.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Such good support.
Love it.
Where's my husband, huh?
Uh-oh.
We'll have to talk to him when I get home.
All right, so we're adding some vegetable oil in here as well. We've got some vegetable oil, some sriracha, some chili garlic paste. So this is going to be a little bit spicy, guys. Again, you can always scale this back to your preference.
Right.
Really important to note here.
And I love cooking with stock.
Oh.
The veggie stock or the chicken stock is always just
One thing I want to say about stock real quick, guys. You'll see a term called bone broth. Bone broth is stock. Stock is bone broth. Don't be fooled. Don't pay more for bone broth.
What?
That's very true. Stock is literally made from the bones of a chicken, of a cow.
Wait, I gotta see something.
Granted, it's vegetable stock, so those are two different.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Animals.
There's no bones in there.
No.
There's no bones in there. Okay.
It's true.
Yeah,
All right.
and that's really good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. That's why we're here, guys.
I know. I'm learning too.
All right, so we've got our spicy Thai sauce here. We've got our ingredients cooking. You see that we had prepped ahead of time. A lot of stuff prepped ahead of time. There's a lot of moving parts here. So we're going to start bringing everything together. So our tofu's been marinating in our spicy peanut sauce here. That's going into our pan next.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. And remember in class we talk about peanut butter, peanuts, all that kind of stuff, and I always tell you to eat it in moderation, follow the serving size, only because it's really easy to go overboard with the serving size, and things that are high in fat, lots of calories for a small amount. So you can always measure out the amount of peanut butter.
All right, guys. So
that was beautiful.
So one of the things we want to do here is we want to go really slow when we're mixing this all together here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to crank up my heat to about a medium. I'm going to add my shirataki noodles in next.
Very nice.
Again, shirataki noodles right here.
It's all coming together.
All coming together, guys. We did it in under 30 minutes. I was a little concerned.
Yes.
Not going to lie.
He was going through all the steps prior to the live. So
exactly.
I knew there was a tiny bit of concern. I was not concerned.
Jana
I knew
was not
that he would get it done.
Which is really the most important thing here, guys. Jana wasn't concerned. All right. There we go. So we're looking good here. Again, I'm going slow when I'm stirring because I don't want to break up my tofu. All that time and effort I spent. We spent in getting that tofu firm. You'll see here. I'm going to add the sauce next. There we go. Start smelling really good in here really quickly.
And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything,
have a look,
that you
guys.
want us,
Delicious.
Oh, beautiful. And it is bubbling a little bit, so that's good.
That's
right?
exactly. Yep, that is perfectly fine. That is exactly what you want.
Yeah. It starts to reduce, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So we don't want to reduce too much. We just want to kind of let it come up to a boil. I might actually kick up my heat just a little bit here.
Okay,
Again,
great.
we want to be careful. We don't want to make sure we keep an eye on that tofu. We don't want to let it sit on the bottom of the pan. Really important.
Mm-hmm.
And again, keep in mind too here, guys, we can always scale this dish back. So if you're not a big fan of spice, you can always scale back. You know, back off on the Thai chilies, less sriracha, less chili garlic paste, etc.
Yeah. And I would imagine you can really add whatever veggies you want too.
Absolutely.
If you love broccoli and snow peas,
That's a great point.
Throw 'em
Absolutely.
in.
Throw them in.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a
it'll give
really
them
good
some color,
point.
some vitamins and minerals.
So next up, we're going to go in with our cilantro right towards the very end. Again, one important thing to note, when you're cooking, especially with fresh herbs, you add them toward the very end, about a minute to 2 minutes before you pull. Otherwise, it'll get bitter, they'll lose that color, that flavor.
Yeah. The color on this is awesome.
Yeah, this looks great. This is fantastic.
And did we talk about why we're using the firm tofu?
Oh, we did not.
And
That's a really good point.
yeah.
Please, Jenna, go ahead.
So there's basically, you're going to see in general 3 types of tofu. You have your silken, which is very, very soft. You have your firm, and then you have your extra firm.
Yep.
And we like to use the extra firm for your main sources of
Exactly.
protein.
So if the tofu is a primary ingredient in your dish, like ours is here, it's our primary protein. We want to use that extra firm tofu because we want those chunks. We want it to be able to retain
really
its shape.
stay firm, and it has some tooth to it. It's almost like having chicken or shrimp,
Exactly.
but just a slightly softer.
Exactly. And then for the firm tofu, we can use that for some of our soups as well, miso soup, etc.
And then you even mentioned salads,
Yep.
which I loved because you can throw them into a salad. You can even throw in some extra protein on
Right,
it if you
exactly.
wanted to.
Yep,
It would just be part
exactly.
of the salad.
Exactly. And keep in mind too, guys, the tofu is just going to absorb all this delicious flavors that we have going on in our pan right now. The tofu is going to absorb it.
And then just one more note, if you're wondering what you use silken tofu for, because it really literally is silken. Like when you touch it and hold it, it will mush together. So you would use something like that for, something like a vegetarian pudding, a smoothie. You can make like desserts out of it. There's lots of different recipes out there. So you would just Google silken tofu if you wanted. Even actually, it's good for a dairy substitute.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so if
It's
you want
very
something
common
creamy,
for a dairy substitute.
yeah.
All right, guys, so we're going to finish our dish with some thinly sliced scallions, green onions, another common term for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our fingertips curled in. You want the side of the knife to go up against the side of the fingertips here, side of the knuckle here.
Very important. You want those little fingers.
Nice and slow. Going to cut it on a 45-degree angle.
Beautiful. And
Nice
Nikki
and
just
slow.
joined us. Thank
Hi,
you,
Nikki. All right. So you'll notice here too, guys, I don't want my pan to get too dry, right? I want to retain some of that liquid. See, this is looking delicious, guys.
Yeah. Smells great. It's perfect.
Yep.
And I would assume if it's not too spicy, if you took out some of the peppers and stuff, the kids will love it.
Oh yeah.
It has a lot of Asian flavors.
Yep.
So if the kids love
back
Chinese,
off. Yep. I'd back off on the heat a little bit. Kids love peanut butter. I know I did growing up.
Yeah. And it's a really cool way to get the kids involved with cooking and to show them some different flavor profiles.
Exactly.
The more flavor profiles you introduce at a younger age, the more that they're going to be willing to try other things. So
That's
I know a lot
great point.
Yeah, I know a lot of parents struggle with that.
All right, so we're going to go right into our bowls here.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I could wait till it cools down. But I also learned that when you let it cool down a little bit, you can actually taste the flavors more.
That's very true. All right, so we're going to go right into our bowl here.
And Joni just joined us.
Hi, Joni.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate it. Keep those questions coming.
And you guys caught the tail end of it, those that just joined. But remember that we actually publish these on YouTube, so you can always look at them later.
Yep, they'll be on YouTube. They'll be on our Facebook, on
Yep.
the GBMC Facebook page.
You can ask questions later if you're not around now.
Yep, we'll be more than happy to respond to questions. You can hit me up on my page directly, The Sleep Chef, on GBMC as well.
Yep. If it's more,
Little
nutrition
bit extra.
related, you can just tag me.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Now we're going to finish off with our scallions. Again, just that little pop of color.
Oh, beautiful. Mwah. Gorgeous.
All right. All right,
And
shall we?
the scallions are raw.
They are.
You did
Yep.
not throw them in.
Correct.
Yeah. Those give that crunch
Yep.
and freshness.
Exactly.
I wish we had chopsticks.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's
oh my
what I was
goodness.
thinking.
This is happening, guys.
So let's do a quick review here, everyone.
Yeah.
So we've got a spicy spicy peanut pad thai with tofu with shirataki noodles. Again, we made our marinade ahead of time. So we've got some sriracha, some peanut sauce, light soy sauce, ginger in that marinade, as well as some rice wine vinegar. We pressed our tofu for up to 12 hours ahead of time. You can always do less if you prefer. I'd recommend no less than at least 3 hours for pressing. After that, we cooked our tofu. Browned it, cut it up, put it in our marinade, and then we followed up by cooking our shirataki noodles. Again, shirataki noodles are from
the glucominin.
There we go, for the
roots.
win. Glucosamine, yes. So that is a plant-based
nervous.
product. So we went ahead and cooked those, boiling water. So we rinsed them well. Just keep in mind when you purchase them, they're going to have that off scent. It's going to smell a little bit like seafood. It's not bad. You've gotten through worse. Don't worry about it. They're still good. Drain them, rinse them well in a colander, and then we boiled them for 2 to 3 minutes. Poured them out, and then I hit them in a saute pan with some sesame oil over low to medium heat to just dry those noodles out. We don't want them to brown or stick to the pan. We just want to dry them out. So go over low heat. Remember, you can always go up. And then finally, we got all of our vegetables prepped as well for our pad thai. And then we just cooked those vegetables ahead of time. We made our pad thai sauce, combined everything together in our pan here, so you get a little sweet, a little spicy, a little nutty from the peanut butter. I think that's
It's worth it. And just from a nutritional standpoint, to recap also, tofu, it's a great source of protein. It's you can equate it to chicken or shrimp or beef. It's a complete protein. It's plant-based, which you can't really get a lot of complete proteins plant-based.
Yeah.
And it's low in fat. It's semi-low in calories. It's high in calcium, high in folate, so a lot of rich, vitamins and minerals that you guys already might be at risk for, being low.
Yeah.
And then the shirataki noodles are essentially no calories.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, guys, you can find these in fettuccine, spaghetti. There's some thinner, some angel hair pasta as well.
Rice.
There's rice.
I saw rice the other day. Yeah. So
exactly. Shall we dig in? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm gonna try the tofu first.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Yum.
Wait, I gotta try the shirataki. Wait, 1 second. I'm slower. Okay.
That is delicious. Oh, guys, you've got to make this, guys. Seriously, this is really good.
And the noodles are like rice noodles, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it tastes like.
Exactly.
Oh, this is perfect.
This is delicious, right? So, as always, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Tune in at 6 p.m. the fourth Tuesday of the month to see cooking demonstrations with myself, the Sleep Chef, and Jana Wolff, our fantastic registered dietitian.
Yes, and a huge thank you to ABC2
yes,
for letting us use your
everybody.
studio and your beautiful kitchen. And with that, I think we are done for tonight.
There's one more thing I want to say before we sign off.
Okay.
Hey, Comp family out there, man, great job to everybody in the Comp to 5K. So good seeing all of you. So proud of everybody for finishing. Keep going. We are here. We are here to support you. Check out the Facebook page, the Comp Support Group. Jana is always on there. She's great. She's super responsive. She's here for, I'm more than happy if you want to tag me in there with a food question about cooking something, about is this healthy, what do I eat? Please feel free. I'm in there all the time as well.
Yeah, this doesn't happen without you guys.
Exactly.
So thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We love doing these videos. Thank you again to Mindy behind the scenes and to the whole GBMC marketing department. That being said, thank you very much, everybody.
All right, thanks,
thank you for tuning in.
guys.
Have a great rest of the evening. Good night.
Have a great night.